Holly Cotton here, and I am super excited about our guest today. I have Christina Flach, and you guys know I'm always trying to figure out ways for us to be the most beautiful versions of ourselves inside and out. And I have someone today that's going to give us all the intel on that and also tell us about all the great things that she's doing as well. So I have Miss Christina Flach, and Christina is a celebrity makeup artist. She is the CEO and founder of Pretty Girl Makeup, and her celebrity clientele includes, like, the list is just endless. If you go to christinaflock.com, you'll see everything is there. So welcome, Christina.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me today.
Yes, yes, yes. So first, let me just ask you this, because sometimes whenever you are sort of, I guess, shown your passion in life, it comes from either some kind of weird story, maybe it was just it fell in your lap some kind of way. So how did this whole makeup artist, skincare thing sort of get exposed to you as something that you wanted to make a career of?
That's such an interesting question. And I often wonder how it happened as well. I just started messing around with makeup on my mom and my friends and my cousins. And then it just kind of segued into doing proms and weddings. And then photographers saw, work that I had done. And I got to start doing photo shoots with photographers and models. And then I got enough photographs together, enough images together to send out to agents and get represented. And then once I got agents, that really made a huge change in how I was able to work with a bunch of different celebrities and different couture houses and, all the rest. So that's kind of how it began.
So let me ask you this, just to kind of piggyback on what you said, because I'm just asking for me, because I'm nosy, Christina. So whenever you, whenever you started, okay, so you're doing all of these things because a lot of us follow our passions, right? We're doing whatever it is that makes us happy, the things that we enjoy doing. But there was, like you said, that transition. So tell us about when you felt like was the very first time where you were like, "Holy crap! I think I'm doing something big right now." What was that experience?
Oh my gosh, I have that all the time. So when I work with a new celebrity, if I see my work in a magazine or if I see it on TV, I'm always like, oh my God, holy crap, how did this happen? And I love that feeling of, oh my God, I'm so excited. Also, sometimes it's also, oh my God, I'm so scared. But I've learned that I've learned to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because great things happen when you are so uncomfortable that there's change and you're pushing yourself to do something. About a year and a half ago, I was asked to be a beauty expert on California Live on NBC. And I'm like, I'm a makeup artist. I don't go in front of the camera. No way. And then my friend was like, okay, get over yourself and get comfortable being uncomfortable, because you can do this. And I'm so glad that I was pushed into doing something I normally would have said absolutely not to, because it has really given me strength and confidence in myself to do things that I thought were not ever a possibility. So now I know that great things can happen from being comfortable being uncomfortable. And why not try something new? Like, why not? I think it's called living life instead of existing. When you're doing things that you think, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do it, well, it's amazing all that you can do. You'll surprise yourself.
That is very good. Look at you, Christina, throwing in some little motivation in there too. I love it. I love it. And you guys,
I'm a makeup artist slash Tony Robbins.
I love it. I love it. Why, like you said, why limit yourself? And you guys, let me just, how she said that everything sort of surprises her. Let me just go down on the list of celebrities that she has dealt with. So she has or her celebrity clientele: Condeleeza Rice, Hilary Swank, Isiah Washington, Melissa McCarthy, Rita Moreno, Renee Zellweger, Tyler, Florence, on and on and on. So when she's telling us and she's just sitting here all humble, like, what every time is just a bigger, it just makes me happy and my
No,
heart
but I
smiles.
really
Like,
am. It's real. I am, because I don't think you ever get like, to me it is a thrill when I see, Tyler's in Food Network cookbook, or I mean magazine, or Rita Moreno and People magazine. I'm like, holy crap, I that is huge. So I am excited, I mean, how can you, I think when you stop being excited, it's like, God, are you that numb to, I think everything is a blessing, and I really am grateful for all these opportunities I've had. Really, really.
I love that, and I also I appreciate that you're saying that as well, because I think a lot of people don't stay humble, and you get to a certain level, you've elevated, and then you start thinking, oh well, that's beneath me, or oh, it's no big deal, or whatever. And I love that you're sharing that every single experience that you have is like the first time that you did it. So I love that, Christina. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So tell us how that transitioned into pretty girl makeup.
Well, I was a mom of five driving around with a, I was constantly in a battle between my water bottle and my lip gloss. And I couldn't find a lip gloss that would stay on long enough without being matte and drying or irritating my skin. So I thought, well, how hard can it be to make your own lip gloss? And as my friend Tyler Florence likes to say, if people knew how goddamn hard it was to do anything, no one would do a fucking thing. And so I'm glad I didn't know, because it does take much more time, money, effort, everything. But I really enjoyed the whole process. And I think if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you really have to love what you're doing, because it is going to take more time, money, effort, more everything than you expected. So if you're enjoying the process, you will work 7 days a week, so many more hours than you thought, and you'll sacrifice things. But if you don't love what you're doing, that's when failure pops in, because you're going to resent it and you're just not going to enjoy it. And then inevitably it will fail, because you're not going into it really for the right reason. Money and success always follow when you're loving what you're doing and you're passionate about it, and you're good at it. So I know now I'm confident in my abilities as a makeup artist. I know that I'm going to get hired for jobs because I work really hard and I do a good job. I show up on time and I'm not difficult. And I am not, oh, well, I'm famous and I should be treated a certain way. I'll do, if my client needs a cup of tea or whatever, I'll do whatever needs to be done. Or the lighting guy needs me to hold something, I'll do that too. So I am never nothing is ever beneath me. Doing, whether it being a makeup artist or if I'm, running my business. I just do whatever needs to be done. And I just try to keep a positive attitude and know that everything's going to work out well. And I'm excited about it. And so then new opportunities arise when you have an openness to the universe, like, hey, yeah, maybe I'll have a meeting with you about a new makeup or skincare line, or sure, I'll have a meeting about doing a new TV show and hosting it. Normally I'd be like, no, no, no. And now I'm like, heck yeah, let's do it.
So starting your line kind of helped you build that confidence, you think, or was it always there and the more opportunities you had, it was exposed?
I think over time you get confident. Let me tell you, I'm not always, there's days that I'm like, oh, this is awful. Everything is wrong. I'm so depressed, but that's when I know I'm either too tired, I'm hungry, I need to go work out, I need to think about things I'm grateful for, and just focus on one thing at a time. You know, it's so funny, like when you were introducing me saying all these things that I do, and I do them, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. I've got to keep, like, I really need to keep pushing myself. And I think having that yearning for, being the best version of me in my personal life, my public life, my work life, all my different assets, aspects of my life, that's what keeps me excited and enthusiastic about waking up and working.
So Rewind, Christina, and rewind to whenever you first had your very first product. And like you said, what I like to do is use my platform to inspire and educate other people through our journeys and things like that. So, say there's someone right now, we're not going to give them all the secrets of the trade, but say someone is like, wow, oh my gosh, I want to be just like Christina. I want to have my own makeup line, or I want to do this. And like you said, knowing that there are lots of challenges that come with it, a lot of people probably would be like, maybe not. That sounds like a
No.
lot for me to go into.
Well, yeah, because you know
So,
what? When you
what
start,
did it
you're not
feel?
making any
Mhm.
money. And so what's good about what was
Mm.
easier for me was that makeup and being a makeup artist go together. So the more successful I became as a makeup artist, it kind of helped my brand. And I didn't realize that you know, their plan A turned into plan B and plan B turned into plan A. They kind of switch all the time, which is doing, you know, but I think I enjoy both of them so much. I don't like, you know, doing photo shoots is exhausting. So days I'm not on a photo shoot, like today, I'm home doing podcasts, I'm writing articles, I'm having meetings with investors, I'm doing all these different things. I also love that every day is different. I'm in a new place or I'm home working, and I'm meeting new people. Tomorrow I have a photo shoot with a new client for she's doing a book cover and some press for that, so I'm going to work with that. And then I might have, you know, someone in, I have on, let's see, Wednesday afternoon I'm going to be in San Francisco with someone that's going to a red carpet event. And then in between that I'm flying down to LA for a meeting. So I'm constantly, you know, it's every day is always different. And I like that because I don't like, you know, for me to be sitting in a cubicle working, you know, 10 hours a day would be torturous for me. So I don't, I,
Same, same,
right?
Christina. Same,
Like, would you
same.
not just like,
I, I, I feel lost when I don't have 30 jobs going on.
right?
Like when I don't have 30 things going on, I'm like, why am I sitting? Why do I have so much time today? What is going on?
Yes,
Why do I have this time?
you're correct. I'm the same
I
way.
love.
I'm the same way. And so I think that keeps life exciting. And I think that's, you know, that entrepreneurial spirit that you have in you is why you do what you do and why I do what I do. And I think it's so important. You know, I don't like hearing people complain about, oh, I don't like my marriage, I don't like my job, I don't like where I don't like, I hate, and I'm not, I don't like the word hate, but they're, you know, constantly complaining, but they're doing nothing different to change it. So I want to hear solutions. If you don't like something, change it. And if it doesn't work out,
Mhm.
it's not a failure. It just means you need to make another turn. And so if you can omit the word failure out of your vocabulary and just know everything's going to be great, but they're lessons, they're not failures. Sometimes it's happening for you, not to you. And so when something doesn't work out, and trust me, I've had plenty of things not work out, plenty. Um, I just know that, okay, I'm going to do something different. So I have that mentality. So and believe me, I am so harsh on myself. And one of my friends brought that up to me one day and she said, you know, you are so generous and kind with everybody except yourself. You would never treat another human the way
Mm.
you treat you. And I thought, wow, she's right. So I'm really learning and I'm working on
Right.
that of being kinder to me and not beating myself up like, oh my
Mm.
God, someone's introducing me that I'm a CEO and I'm doing all these things and, you know, I'm outside decorating for Christmas. You know, like I'm really harsh on myself. So, you know, I just have to be a gentler and kinder and then treat myself the way I treat others. And things are, it is a work in progress. I will say that.
Well, it's definitely paying off. But Christina, you didn't answer my question, so I'm going to rewind it
Okay.
back. How did it feel when you saw your first product? Give
Oh God.
rewind and let us
Oh,
know.
I
How did
died. I screamed. I went to the manufacturer and picked it up and was cases and cases and you know, I had like a big Suburban at the time and I'm like I filled it up with all this product and I was floating home. I was so proud and excited and like I can't believe I did this. And it took almost a year to do. I thought it was going to be like 5 seconds, and it wasn't, but it was a great, and I think it's so cool to be working with like a beauty chemist, because it's, you know, in my world, but so not. I'm not a chemist, but it's so interesting hearing all the different ingredients and how you combine them and what they do differently to the skin. And so I love doing like that process is a lot of fun. It's also fun thinking up new products and new names for products, and it's the beauty world is changing constantly. There is constant change, and you know, whether it be with social media and influencers and how we sell things and, you know, magazines, it's all constantly changing. So that's the one thing that I can guarantee in the beauty industry: there is constant change, as in life.
Yes. Yes, yes. Well, and I love that you are staying abreast of all of those changes, and that's why you kind of are going into these different directions and taking on, like you said, all of these other different things. So before we go into some of the things that you're working on now, I also want to ask you this, because I usually will get a male entrepreneur that comes on, and you know, they all talk about their business and giving back and advice and all of that great stuff, and I love that. But I'm all about the female empowerment, and I feel like women sacrifice a lot in order to be mothers, and sometimes those dreams, those wishes, those things that are actually obtainable, we push to the side because we feel like we're guilty, or we feel guilty for neglecting our kids, or we feel guilty for choosing ourselves. So when you were talking about being a mom and doing all of those things, it really sort of, I guess, and kind of ignited a curiosity in me. So how did you figure out how to have that, I don't want to say balance, but how did you figure out how to maneuver being the boss Christina and doing all of this in a career, as well as still being a mom?
Well, that was the beauty of being a makeup artist and having my own business. I could work out of my house, and then photo shoots, you know, as a makeup artist, you don't work every day. I mean, sometimes you do, but it's, you know, you work, then you don't. It just kind of is that way. So it was like the perfect balance for me when my kids were little. And as they got older, I was able to do more. Like right now, like my kids are all grown. They are two are out of college, working, one's in college, and one's in high school, playing competitive golf. And so I have much more time than I ever had. And the opportunities are bigger because now I can travel. I can go with Tyler, you know, for 6 weeks to work on a TV show. I could never have done that when I had kids at home. I would never have done it. So now it's kind of fun that I have this freedom being an empty nester, or almost. You know, my son, I'm going to see him today, so that's nice. um, I think that's one of the blessings of this time, is that, you know, I don't get to see my kids every day, but now I get to focus on my career, which I didn't get to do when I was younger. You know, I was busy being a mother. And so, you know, now's the time that I get to push myself professionally, when I wasn't able to before.
So, do you have any advice that you, if there's a single mom that's thinking about, like I said, they're looking at you as an inspiration, and they're like, "Wow, if she did it, I can do it." Do you have any advice for any single moms out there?
Well, I can't say that I'm really a single mother, because I'm my kids have a dad and he's very present in their lives.
Well,
So
I meant,
okay. So I don't
no,
want to take.
I'm
I don't want
sorry.
to act like
Just as a
I don't
woman,
have you know, a co-parent that, you know. And
I'm a single mom, Christina.
okay,
Give me the
I will
advice.
give it to
Talk to
you.
me.
You know what? The best thing
Yes,
that a
I'm the
single
single
okay,
mom here. So
okay,
tell,
I'm going into mommy friend mode now. The best thing that you can do
yes, thank
for your
you.
children is to show them that you have healthy, happy relationships, whether, you know, it be with someone you're dating or who you're married to. That is the best thing you can do for your kids, because if you want your kids to have healthy, happy relationships, they need to see you having a healthy, happy relationship. You know, when a mom, women tend to do this, will put all their focus onto the kids, nothing into their marriage or their personal life. Then the kids think that that's what normal is. It also it's
Mm.
almost too much attention. It's sometimes kids, it's better, less is more. They don't need 100%, mommy helicopter hovering. They need to know you're there. My kids know I'm
Mm-hmm.
there. If they need me, it's a phone call and I'm there. Um, but I think it is super important. A great gift is showing them that you have balance in your life, whether it be making sure that you exercise every day and that you have time to relax and, take care of your inside, eating well, drinking well, resting, all these things, laughing. If we want that for our kids, we have to have it for ourselves.
That that's great advice. I love I love that. That yes. How can you have to lead by example. So I love that. I love that. Okay. So let's sidebar into all of the other things that Christina is doing right now. Cause thank you for that advice. I need a little motivation for Holly Cotton
Yes, you
Christina. So
do.
thank you.
Take care of you, girl.
So thank you, thank you. I need it. I took it in. I took the energy. Thank
Okay,
you,
good,
thank you.
good.
so, so let's talk about I'm too busy. And so give us give us the inside scoop on how I'm too busy came about and what exactly are the big plans for this new line.
I'm too busy came about because I always feel like all I hear from everyone in the world is, "Oh my god, I'm so busy. I'm so busy." And then I think that too, I'm so busy. And I just thought when I was meeting with some investors, they had I'm too busy trademarked, and I'm like, that's perfect because I think everyone can relate to it, and I think it's kind of funny. And so, it's kind of like when I started Pretty Girl, I thought it's not like I thought I was this pretty girl. I thought that I wished I could have this pretty life, that I wasn't driving around my kids and I was sitting on a beach or going to Paris for lunch and shopping. So, Pretty Girl was kind of like who I aspired to be, but hardly ever am. And so, with I'm Too Busy, it's the same thing. I feel that you can have a high quality life, you can have balance in your life, even if you are too busy. You just have to plan a bit and be disciplined. So I think that also, so segueing into the skincare and makeup, I get asked so frequently, well, what skincare products do I really need? I just bought 14 and it's a 14-step process. And I'm like, yeah, and how many days have you done that 14-step process? Well, I did 3 days and I'm going to get back onto it. And so that's the problem. Too many, you don't need all these products. You need consistency, in whatever it is you're doing. So with the skincare, I worked with another beauty chemist who's amazing, who did the Urban Decay, that spray, the setting spray. He invented that. So he did my skincare line, and it's 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and it's a reverse cleansing. You, instead of, think about it. All our water has a bunch of yuck in it, and people filter their water, right? But we don't, but we throw it all over our face without out being filtered. So what we've done is come up with a cleanser, a moisturizer. You put in your hand, you put it to your face, and then you put the water on. It's kind of like a barrier to protect. And then the third step is rejuvenating and keeping the skin protected. So now going over to the makeup side, I hear people telling me all the time, okay, so I just went to the department store and bought all this stuff, and now I don't know how to use it, and it kind of doesn't really fit my lifestyle. So I just feel that I get it. They're trying to make money, and so am I, but also I don't think you're going to get brand loyalty if you're selling products that people don't need or use or don't know how to put on their face. So you have to remember, when you're going to a
Mhm.
department store, those people aren't makeup artists. They're salespeople that know how to do makeup
Sales.
somewhat. So I think it's super important. I want to have, my line is going to be just really what you need for the brows, concealer to get rid of, darkness and any imperfections. Foundation, we're going to do a stick because you can take it wherever you are. And then, eyeliner, eyeshadow, mascara, blush, and something for the lip. And that's it. I'm, a little highlighter, but it's not going to be like a million SKUs because I just feel like if you can just use what you need, you don't need a million things. How many times do you have a bunch of look in a drawer and you have all this makeup that you got for free or gift with purchase or that you don't use? Everybody, right? So what I kind of did like was like get little gift bags and put it together and put together and give it to some friends or family. All that stuff you have just sitting there that no one's using and that you're not going to, if you haven't used it, you're not going to. I can promise you that. So I really just wanted I'm Too Busy, the makeup line, to just be honestly what you need, nothing more.
Mm, I love that. Yeah. I everything you said that was bad. I'm part of that posse. Because they always get free stuff, and then also because I'm always, as a media personality, I'm always at these events, so they give me free stuff, and then I feel bad about throwing it away, but it's not even my shade. I have this weird color where I'm like Mediterranean undertone, but
I
then
get
this
it.
and that,
Yeah,
then tan, and then I have a like it doesn't now I look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or something.
right.
It's just it never matches me. It's just but I feel bad about throwing it away. So what I wanted to ask you, Christina, is as because like you said, you're an expert, the host. Now you're going to be the host as a celebrity makeup artist. You're going to be giving all of this advice to people, so obviously your opinion is very, very, very much honored.
I hope.
So, what would you say? Yeah. So, what would you tell, like, what are not what would you tell? What are some of the common questions? Because I get reminded all the time that I'm middle aged. I think I'm still 20, but then something happens and I'm reminded that I'm not. So, I'm at this weird middle age part. And I know a lot of women, especially my followers and everything, are kind of in the same area because, we did go to high school together or college together as well. So, what are some of those common issues? Let's get some free stuff from Christina, you
Let's
guys. I'm gonna get y'all
do.
some free
Yes.
expert advice right here. So, what are some of the common things that you see in middle aged women that you're like, oh my gosh, ladies, let's stop doing this or let's do more of
Okay.
this?
I think my big thing is people that want to wear liquid liner 7 days a week and during the day. That's a
Mm,
nighttime thing, a once in a while thing. You don't want, I just never want to look at a face and go, oh, wow, okay, big, thick liner, blue, green, yellow, purple. I see all kinds of stuff. I just want to look at a face and go, wow, she looks pretty. That's it. I don't want one thing to be sticking out too much. So I think the best thing to do, we did this on
mhm,
California Live, one segment. It was called the Beauty Dare Challenge. And what the Beauty Dare Challenge was okay, let's say you wear a ton of makeup, tone it down about 5 notches. And if you wear very little, tone it up a bit, bring it up a notch or two, and ask yourself why it is that you're feeling uncomfortable. Because every person that did the challenge was like, oh, wow, they're so accustomed to looking a certain way and they look in a mirror. And if they look different, they actually
mhm,
physically feel uncomfortable. So I would, tone down the mascara. I mean, the liner. Make sure you change your mascara every 2 to 3 months because it dries out. Um, Concealer or powder under the eyes. So it's super important to keep the under the eye area moist. I don't use powder under the eyes because it shows fine lines and wrinkles. So I make sure that there's an eye cream there, always a vitamin C serum, an eye cream, sunscreen, every day of the year, rain or shine, sunscreen. Just get into the habit. Your skin will be protected. It's super important. And then using a concealer under the eye and do like 2 or 3 thin coats of it. Pat it down or use a brush or use your finger. Super important. Filling in brows makes a huge difference. If you look on ChristinaFlach.com on my portfolio, I'm really into like defined brows. I think it's you can use a shadow or a pencil or both. Um, I am not into oh foundation. Let's talk about that for a moment.
mm.
People,
I'm
People
taking
don't
notes too.
know, like, what's the right shade for me. I like to go a little darker, I like to go a little lighter, and wrong and wrong. What you want, foundation should disappear into your skin. It shouldn't be lighter, it shouldn't be darker. You should like almost not see it. That's the right color. Um, so when you're
Mm,
doing that, it's really hard to determine the right color when you're in a department store, but see if you can get some light that's hitting your face, even if you kind of have to go over by the door. And then that way you can really see if that's the appropriate color for you. And it's going to change from winter and summer. Even if you wear
mhm.
sunscreen every day, your foundation is going to be slightly darker, slightly lighter, depending upon the time of year.
Definitely. And I tan so easily. So I literally like I get so brown in the summer because I love the beach and I'm even though I wear my sunscreen, Christina,
Right, right,
I
right,
do,
right.
but I
I know, I'm
still
the
I
same. I'm the same. I'm brown.
so
I like to be warm. I don't like being cold. I'm like freezing today.
yeah, me too. Same, same. I'm mad I have a fur. But it's funny because
And
I
that's really
always
cute, by the way.
thank you, thank you, thank you. But I know when it gets to that transition month because I'll go to put on my concealer and I'm like, oh, to this is got to go to the winter color now. Like I can tell
That's
when I
right.
shift it.
It's so obvious. Like when you start looking at color that way on foundation and concealer, it's like it's so clear if it's right or wrong. It's just like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, I see it. No, that's wrong. So that's really important. And
I
drinking a
love.
lot of water, being hydrated, even in the winter months, like it's hard for people to stay hydrated almost harder in the winter because they're cold and they don't want to drink water. Then drink warm herbal tea. Um, it's get in the habit of every time you get in the car, grab a water bottle, have them prepared already in the fridge or on the counter, and just grab and go. And if you can get in the habit of drinking water every time you get in the car, you'll you know meet all your water expectations for the day.
So, last question, Christina. Again, thank you for sharing all of that great information for
My
about that.
pleasure.
Thank you for giving us all that free advice. You guys can also, she's going to tell you how you can catch her on TV. You can catch her products. So, last question, Christina. Tell everyone how they can get all of your products, how they can follow you, support you, all of that great stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. You can go to ChristinaFlach.com to see my work. You can also see videos from California Live and different photo shoots. PrettyGirlMakeup.com, and then I'mTooBusy.co, and then on Instagram, Christina Flach Makeup. Pretty Girl Makeup is PrettyGirlMkup, and we're on TikTok, X, and Facebook. So yeah, thank
And
you.
I'm too busy is already out or is it still in the works?
It is there's part of it's out. We've only launched a few products, so we're going to
Okay.
be having more coming out. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm gonna have the whole I'm too busy line of everything. Because
Oh
that's
my God, thank you. That's so nice. I got to
that's
get
me.
Chop Chop and get that going.
I know, Christina, you're messing me up. Get it moving so I can give
I know.
her.
God, I'm so lazy. Ah!
I love it. I love it. So that is Christina Flack. You guys, thank you so much for sharing your story. We'll have all of the information in the podcast notes as well. So make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. So thank you, Christina.
Happy holidays.